Hello, everybody. This may be a controversial opinion, but after 17 years, I'm actually glad that SpongeBob SquarePants didn't end at the first movie with just 3 seasons. I mean, Nickelodeon knew it had something very special in SpongeBob SquarePants, and see they could grow into something much greater. And even in the worst days, it's slightly less obnoxious than like the other Loud House, or Roaring in the Loud House at worst. At least in the post second movie seasons that we got during the Loud House. Yeah, I mean, SpongeBob SquarePants could only do so much in 3 seasons. And, you got a standard plot line like, SpongeBob and Patrick hanging out, sometimes SpongeBob having a, kind of conflict with Gary, or, Squidward being annoyed by two yak-nack stories, Patrick and SpongeBob, and he lives between them. And, it's SpongeBob, Squidward, Mr. Krabs having a conflict with Mr. Krab, either between each other or in getting the Krabby Patty formula back from Plankton, and, SpongeBob and Patrick Lake ride with Sandy or do something else silly and stupid to treat them, and a few occasions SpongeBob goes to boating school and drives himself really crazy. But even before she had SpongeBob, his Buff was implied to be pretty psycho. And you should already know that being a driving teacher is one of the few occupations she could really love for. But yeah, I'm here to say, yeah, honestly, I think if SpongeBob SquarePants did have only 60 episodes and 3 seasons, probably barely would have been any more memorable than Chalk Zone. It's not to say I don't have any fondness for the season of SpongeBob. There's definitely lots of clever comedy in some of their most well-known episodes. Pizza Delivery, Pancakes, Chocolate Nuts. I like the Marie and Barkley episodes. The links to those are always those two annoying part of the show for me, and that's important in general, besides Twitter, which I guess why I'm glad Lucy was figure out, didn't she? I think because she seems to tolerate him even less than Squidward and Plankton can. If SpongeBob SquarePants only had 60 episodes of 2 seasons, I'm not sure if it would actually be remembered as the cultural icon it is now, especially because it took until season 9 to pass the Rugrats in terms of episode count. And well, there's a lot of cool new episodes and plot types we never would have gotten if SpongeBob SquarePants didn't continue after the first movie. If you really love SpongeBob, whether you're a viewer or somebody at the network, you probably like SpongeBob so much that you'd be sad to see it go too soon. If without SpongeBob, without SpongeBob SquarePants never made any new seasons or episodes after the movie, then we wouldn't get those, I never would have gotten that cool season 7 finale like nothing I've ever seen before, Perfect Chemistry, which finally, it took 7 seasons, but we finally got to have a storyline about Sandy, Cheeks, and Sheldon Plankton both being scientists. And Sandy's a good scientist and Plankton's an evil scientist, which they, Mimic Madness later made a joke about. good joke. And yeah, it was nice to see. I'm very proud of Sandy for outsmarting Plankton, especially after what he did to her earlier in the same season. Someone's in the kitchen with Sandy. I stole her fur. Made a lot of it to SpongeBob. Got Sandy arrested for public nudity. Man. But of course, continuing SpongeBob SquarePants after the movie doesn't come without its problems. I mean, the series with Adventures had loads of got loads of animated atrocities from the post-movie seasons of SquarePants. He has given more SpongeBob SquarePants more animated atrocities and animations than any other show. And Pie Guys even also had some Square theories that have addressed this problem, like asking if SpongeBob SquarePants should have continuity, since it's fine to have it's an episodic story that's self-contained gags after if you're only running for 3 seasons, but if you're going on longer than that, well, you better come up with some new storylines and character dynamics if you don't want to recycle the same plots again. And you also asked if Mr. Krabs' greed went too far, because obviously it did go too far in season 6. And that had reached its end, and when SpongeBob SquarePants was about to be over originally, that had already reached its end with Barnacle and Krabs in Krabby Land late in season 3. And he also asked why Sandy Cheeks is so underused and thought of some possible character. Pie Guy rules and other people in the comments suggest possible character answers you could have with other characters besides SpongeBob and Patrick. Like the 2 standard things SpongeBob are either the Con Street neighborhood or the Krusty Krab. And that's just why you don't see Sandy very often. But Sandy appears less than SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs. Plus, she is a land creature, which is it's pretty inconvenient and unfortunate for the most appearing female main character to be a land critter when everyone else is a sea critter. But I could actually propose a solution to that, in which for the season of SpongeBob in the near future, I would try to I'd write a new character named Zoe Fisher, who's a fish who just an ordinary fish that I want to be a main character of focus, which still may have some features about her to distinguish her from other background fish. But yeah, I'd bring her about when Mr. Krabs is forced to hire a 3rd employee, kind of like the Big Fairy Share Scare, but better, because Zoe Fisher isn't a Mary Sue. She isn't going to be Mary Sue like Chloe Carmichael. And the first choice of Zoe is to have that Saint Germain, which I think she'd get along with Duncan a lot more well than Carly Walker. Carly's still a talented actress, but she's a good actress. She just had a bad character to work with. But yeah, just like how I've told you before, season 8. I thought season 8 showed her turn to form for Plankton's villainy, and season 11, I like season 11 to have been a lot of SpongeBob episodes after season 6. I have gotten lots of I have found new things to do with characters that we never actually, people in SpongeBob's world we never actually saw together before. Oh yeah, I was right. Yeah, and the Patrick, there's 10 Patrick's a Prick episodes and 10 Squidward torture points. That's also something that occurred a lot in the post-movie seasons where Mr. Enter got a lot of mileage out of Antitrust season SpongeBob. I think the only episode from each that was from before season 5 were Good Neighbors from season 4 and the Squidward torture points, and I Was Stupid from season 2 and the Patrick's a Prick episodes. Yeah, I never talked to Squirrely before, but it's only because I don't want to disturb my grandma while she's making dinner. And I'm also been pretty tired today. But yeah, season 7, that was the first time. You probably catch the first time we got to see Sandy in the Chum Bucket, which I was really definitely excited to see, but definitely wasn't the last time because I I got to see her in there again in Frozen Face Off and Plankton's Good Eye. But yeah, with some later, with some more of the reasons that came after the second movie, it's very nice to see some other new characters or character interactions in SpongeBob SquarePants, like how he got, I think they may have watched listened to Pagay's video about Sandy being underused, because I actually get to see a lot of cool dances like Sandy, the characters in SpongeBob, and even other characters that come together, they don't usually see together, right? In sports, Sandy didn't like Squidward when he got Patrick and SpongeBob to hurt each other. They're in his own silly random sports game he made up for them, and so Sandy challenged Squidward to a duel where she could make up random rules like he did. Larry the floor manager, Mr. Krabs was stressed out, and he got Larry the lobster to take out the Krusty Krab because of how chill Larry was. Squidward and SpongeBob had to stop Larry when he turned the Krusty Krab into a gym and did away with the Krabby Patties. And in Girls' Night Out in Cabin the Kelp, Sandy and Mrs. Puff and Karen become the gal pals who play pranks on Plankton and SpongeBob, and then they're also going to play a prank on Pearl and Cabin in the Kelp. But Pearl and SpongeBob are prepared with another prank to strike back at them. And then there was a surf and turf when Mr. Krabs helped Sandy with making a ship in the bottle in exchange for him taking half the prize money if Sandy wins. But he turned out to be an evil banana who double-crossed her and stole her tree dome after he turned her tree into the ship. So he had a giant ship in the bottle. He almost won, but got his comeuppance when Sandy showed up, tangled up in her own helmet, and got Mr. Krabs to repair the tree from her tree dome. Yeah, I guess SpongeBob SquarePants. It's like SpongeBob is a very vast universe with vast lore, and that's why I'm glad it didn't only have. I'm glad it didn't only have 3 seasons, because if it clocked in or clocked out at 60 episodes, I don't think it would really have nearly as many rewatch. I don't think it would really have as much rewatch value or stuff to talk about as Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Amphibia both got to have in 60 episodes. The thing is, the lore of SpongeBob is very intense, and if it actually did end after the first movie, we never would have gotten to see any of that. Plus, I really like how Goons in the Moon introduced this new purple squid girl, Squidina Star, and she got to be a main character of Patrick and the Patrick Star Show. It's as far as SpongeBob spin-offs go, regardless of whether or not Steven Hillenburg wanted them or was good with them or had involved in them, which I think he may have had some involvement in Camp Coral in its early stages. But I like the Patrick Star Show a lot more than Camp Coral because, Camp Coral isn't really anything. I don't think Camp Coral really provides you anything new to the SpongeBob universe, except for Narlene and Nobby, who are pretty entertaining characters, and I like seeing them return. And I got in, the next new season of SpongeBob SquarePants, season 13. Something gnarly this way comes. I liked having a new voice actress in SpongeBob. Kate Higgins playing Narlene, because it's pretty funny hearing Sailor Mercury, Mizuno, talk in a Sandy Cheeks country accent. But yeah, the other problem with Camp Coral is, making SpongeBob a kid, you send off potential that the original show originally had, and on top of that, the characters are like most of the main characters all consolidated together in this one camp. But yeah, the Patrick Star Show is much better because, well, it has the opposite problem. In Patrick's imagination, there's too much potential for lots of crazy stuff to happen. But fortunately, Squidina keeps her grounded. But fortunately, Squidina keeps him grounded, and his new imaginary starfish family. They're pretty cool and fun to watch too. The Patrick Star Show has new characters and a new type of narrative format with different segments for something else in the middle of each episode's main plot that really give it a new flavor of entertainment and comedy you don't get from the original SpongeBob show, which is why I'd happily continue to watch the Patrick Star Show on Nickelodeon and not pay for the Paramount Plus streaming service to see Camp Coral. I know Squidina had a taller, basically like in the original SpongeBob series, that's okay, but if we see Squidina again in the original SpongeBob, I know I'd like to include Squidina again in the original SpongeBob, but if that happens, even if she appears taller again than she is in the Patrick Star Show, at least let Squidina keep her nose, because I noticed she didn't have a nose in her first two appearances in the original SpongeBob before the Patrick Star Show. Yeah, she's a really nice kid who plays a straight girl, Patrick's wacky antics, and it's very nice for Tom Kenny's wife, Jill Talley, to have a charming new character to voice who is way more entertaining than the infamous Karen computer that Plankton has. Karen Plankton, yeah, it's a very unfortunate name to have nowadays. Megan and Wally must be very embarrassed about Karen Walker from Grace, but yeah, so that's my 3 cents on SpongeBob SquarePants, Camp Coral, and the Patrick Star Show. It's kind of cool, actually. SpongeBob is in every episode of SpongeBob, Patrick is in every episode of the Patrick Star Show, and they're both in every episode of Camp Coral. I hope the Patrick Star Show goes on for a bit longer than Camp Coral. So, what do you think of my take on these 3 shows? Do you agree with me that it's good that SpongeBob has gone on for as long as it has and given us some new things, has had some new things to offer, or would you just rather had it ended at 3 seasons and not ever have Sandy interact with Squidward, Mr. Krabs, or Plankton?